experience in teaching field, and with over 104 publications in national and international journals and conferences of repute. He has got the expertise in the field of physical metallurgy, welding, casting process, wear of engineering materials, tribology, polymers, and composites. He has exemplary achievement in the education, being first merit in B Metallurgical Engineering from Nagpur University in 1983 and first merit in MTech in 1985 from Nagpur University and PhD in Metallurgy in 1993 from Nagpur University. He has handled many research and development projects, and coordinated and completed by him are 10 research and development projects of Government of India, which was amounting to rupees 2 crores in Ministry of Human Resource Development, Naval Research Board, Department of Science and Technology, to name a few. He received following awards and recognitions. First, for securing highest mark in B Metallurgy examination, he received Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Trust Award at New Delhi. Then he received Best Paper Award for the paper entitled Characterization of Graphite Nodule in a Cast Low CE Ductile Iron, Indian Foundry Journal, Volume 51. Then Best Science and Technology Innovation Award of KVIC, Government of India, in the year 2007 at New Delhi. Then he was appointed on Higher and Technical Education Committee of Vidarbha Statutory Development Board, Nagpur. Then nominated on Indian Academy of Social Science as Joint Secretary. Then products, process developments and technology transfers and patents. He has developed laminates from agricultural and forest waste, and modification of artisan tools for improvement in tool life were developed, and the same technology is now ready for transfer at various clusters. Then the technologies developed by the technical interface at VNIT, where he was one of the group members. The materials and heat treatment optimization for rural blacksmithy, development of double roller ginning and pressing machine, then low cost mechanized machine for stirrup making, hand operated dhoop that is used in puja samagri, dhoop stick making machine, development of laminates from agriculture waste, and he has filed a patent on method for producing white light with the team which was comprising of Mr. Abhay Deshmukh, Dr. Sanjay Dhogwe, and Dr. Animesh Kumar from Nirina. Now over to you, Vishwa sir, for the innovation and intellectual property rights and how to go about the incubation and startups that the students can go up for their means in their area of expertise or in their local centers. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anup, and thank you, Dr. Ajay Mahawadiwar, for introducing me using very kind words. Let me share my screen first, okay? I will do that.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, there is some problem in getting the
Sir,
presentation.
you have to share your entire screen. After that, you have to minimize your Google tab and present your PPT with the. Yes, sir.
Okay, I will just do it. I will just do it if it is possible.
Yes, sir. Now it's clearly visible, sir.
My screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
So, a very good morning to you all, and thanks for using the kind words for me and giving me an opportunity to interact with you on a very, very important topic of intellectual property rights, innovation, and incubation. Because we engineers are all the time working on some of the important type of the R&D activities. And whenever we are working in the R&D activities, our basic aim is to get something out of that. Because our research is basically focused into that particular domain. Even not only the research, even the education, what we are taking right from the school days to the college days, our basic aim and thirst is to get more and more good information and how effectively I can use this for the masses and as well as for the betterment of the science and technology. So with these few words on the topic of the intellectual property rights, friends, as a teacher in the engineering area, it's for a long more than 35 years now. It was always a process of doing something in a different way. And when we were thinking about it, I realized that the IPR, the innovations, so from that particular aspect, what I have done today, I have divided my presentation into the two major important aspects. One, first part is what is mean by innovation and whether these innovations are actually coming from absolutely different areas of the people, or it is the innovation which is coming from everybody from the masses. That is number one. And number two, whatever important type of the innovations what we have done in achieving the greatest amount of the patents or the intellectual property rights and all other related issues. And the third and most important is that whenever we are talking about that how the things are happening in a given process, that when we are doing the research, when we should decide that whether I should go for the IPR, whether I should go for the patent, whether I should go for the publication, that particular step is also very important in anybody's career. So I would like to divide the whole presentation into these three important domains very quickly and try to talk about the educational system. My dear friend, right from our school days, we are in the process of education and learning. And whenever we are deciding about it, somebody very properly and aptly defined that education is what people do to you, while the learning is what you do to yourself. And therefore, we always say learning is a lifelong process, while education is always confined in the four walls of our concrete structures. And therefore, I am also of the opinion that the learning has to be done. And I realize I have one of the very important type of the example, which I would like to share with you. When I was traveling to Gujarat and I went to Surat, and on one morning, the Innova through which I was traveling would develop a small natch, and we were thinking about repairing it. So we were searching for a mechanic, and that was the morning time, 8 o'clock, when we would like to leave Surat. So I was thinking about some mechanic who will repair that small problem which is developed in my vehicle. So I saw a small mechanic shop just below the overbridge, and small few kids were just loitering there. So I approached them and requested them, "Where is your father?" They had a mechanic so that I can show him. So the small blue color jersey small kid, he was talking to me, "Sir, what is the problem with your vehicle? Can you share with me?" I was not ready to share because it was the Innova vehicle, and I know that this particular small kid will not know anything. So I was ready to wait for his father to come. He told me that he will take another 30 minutes to come, and till that time, you please wait. After 10 minutes, again he approached me, "Sir, what is the problem? Can you share with me?" I was very curious, and therefore I requested, "Come on, please open the bonnet. I will try. I'm going to share with you." And he observed the problem, and immediately he went inside, brought certain amount of the spanners and the pechkas. And after 10 minutes, he replied me, "Sir, please switch on your vehicle now. I hope the problem is solved." I was not ready to believe it, and I started the vehicle, and immediately within 10 minutes, I realized that, oh, that particular problem is totally solved. I asked him out of a curiosity that how you know this, because this vehicle is slightly different, how you know this technology, and your age is that you are maybe 7th and 8th standard student. So he told me that, yes, sir, right from the very, very childhood, I am coming here and working with my father. Earlier, he was not allowing me to participate, but later on, I opened the engine and then I realized everything. And now I am in a position to operate each and every vehicle. I asked him, who is your guru? He told me that no one is guru. My father is telling me, and then I am working with my hand. I understand this is what is the learning process. My dear friends, it is in the process of the development that we are all the time learning and getting fantastic informations like this. And this is what should be the journey in somebody's life. And I am expecting that all my good friends, those who joined with me in this morning session, must experience this beautiful journey like this. Then the second question comes into the mind, what is innovation? And that particular type of the innovation which we would like to share with you is something what innovation is defined by the father of innovation, Mr. Professor Anil Gupta of Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. In 1992, Professor Anil Gupta defined that it is nothing but development, small improvement into some of the things, processes, methodologies, and maybe making a certain amount of small change which will be good for the society is defined as innovation. But there was something which was more specific about the innovation and which was defined by or which has been told that the innovations may be of two types. One called as an incremental innovation, that it's a small change, or otherwise it's a revolutionary change, just like the development of a mobile or an iPad, which absolutely revolutionized. Nobody was aware that this is going to happen or this is going to change the whole structure. But now here we can observe that the things are absolutely different. And therefore, innovation in one word is nothing but an idea generation, idea conversion, and idea diffusion, so that finally the idea will be converted into an incubated type of activity which can be directly useful to the masses. And that is something which is very, very beautiful definition of innovation. But apart from that, Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar, who basically defined what is meant by innovation, and he very aptly defined the innovation, that he said that it's a wonderful journey from the knowledge of goddess, that is the goddess of knowledge, to the goddess of wealth, and that is nothing but from the Saraswati to Lakshmi. And therefore he say that innovation is a beautiful and real journey from Saraswati, that is the goddess of knowledge, to the goddess of wealth, that is Lakshmi, and then whatever will be the outcome, that will be equitably distributed to the innovators, to the everybody who is contributing for the development of such beautiful type of the concept. What a beautiful definition by Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar. My dear friend, then who is going to do these innovations? You, me, or somebody else? I would like to share with you the wonderful journey of innovations. One of the very, very important presentation which I would like to share with you here now, that the small school going kids of class 12, Santosh Singh and Khushwant Roy from Punjab, they were having 80 column printer, and they were thinking that how my printer can be useful to the blind student. And therefore they started working on that, and they developed a Braille printing. Braille is a lipi which is going to be printed on a pages, so that you will get an impression, and then the blind student can touch it and get a wonderful knowledge. So they develop a Braille lipi printer. So 12 standard students, they develop a Braille lipi printer. So innovations can come from any corner. The modified hand cart and the steering with the brakes was developed by the class 7 and 8 student of Bihar, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Gautama Praveen and Shweta Sharma from 11th class from Punjab and Tamil Nadu, they realized that the bulb is always at a certain height and you require a stool to change the bulb if it is fused. So can we have a bulb changer or a bulb remover type of system? And they came out with the innovation. So innovation can come from any corner. Innovation don't require any specific knowledge. Innovation don't require any specific degree and specialization. Most of the time we are I am a mechanical engineer or I am a civil engineer. I don't know about this. My dear friend, this watertight compartment has no meaning in the innovations, because anybody can contribute in different way. Two friends of mine, one Meher Hussain from Assam and Mushtaq Ahmed from Gujarat, both were working for the different problems in their different states. But both of them were thinking about, can I use the bamboo turbine blade and bamboo turbine windmill? And they developed the bamboo turbine windmill. So my friend Meher Hussain from Assam, he developed a bamboo turbine windmill to fetch a water from a certain height to the greater heights, because water is a peculiar problem in Assam. At the same time, Mushtaq Ahmed from Gujarat, he realized that if the water is to be collected from sea and converted into a salt, then under such circumstances, lifting of water is a problem and we don't have an energy at the seashore. So he developed a wind turbine engine and tried to utilize the water from the sea and converted it into the salt making system. What a beautiful concept that both of them were thinking about the developmental activity in Assam and Gujarat, and fantastic technological innovations came into reality. Sometimes, most of the time, we are saying that, oh, I was not thinking like this. Let me try to show you a wonderful story of the Mansukh Bhai from Mittikul, which is one of the very, very important type of the industry, which is basically working into the pottery products. This particular student or this particular enterprising person was thinking about a furnace, and that furnace is mostly of a square or a rectangular type of dimension where you can heat a pottery unit. But at the same time, he was thinking that if I can have a circular type of or a cylindrical type of a system where the raw material will enter from one side, it is heated here, and finally it will come out. So he designed a furnace. So now the products are kept like this, and then the furnace, the rotation will be there at the bottom. The hearth is rotating, it is moving like this, and then once it is moving, and when the product is coming out from the second side, it is completely fired. So majority time our constraint is an opportunity, and search for an opportunity, and never opportunity will come to you. You have to search for an opportunity and then do the things in a very different way. So innovations are actually coming from every corners, and majority time we engineers have to search for an opportunity to think in this particular fashion. Beyond that, the nature itself is so beautifully giving us an opportunity and thinking about how beautifully we can develop an innovation. I would like to share you a wonderful journey. When I was moving in Meghalaya, which is considered as the lands of clouds, every time you will get the rains there, and because of that you will have rivers and then large amount of the water springs moving here and there, and then creating problems for transportation, and it is all hilly area but having a beautiful vegetation. And because of that, the people there, they realize that we can use the vegetation and try to convert the bridges, and therefore it is called as the land of living bridges. These living bridges are made up of the vegetation, and they are made up of the tree support, and they are live. They are not dead structures, they are live structure, and therefore they are called as land of the living bridges. And through that, now you can transport very easily from one corner to another, and the rivers can flood without any difficulty. So that is something which is the nature itself can give you a wonderful type of the improvement in an understanding about the innovations, how the things can happen. And through that, the people have done so many innovations of developing bamboo bridges in Bihar or in different parts of the tribal belts in the different parts of the country. Beyond all this, now let me try to bring about how these innovations are recorded, how these innovations are analyzed, how these innovations are given a wonderful type of recognition. Professor Anil Gupta, who is known as the father of innovation, he started Honeybee Network. This Honeybee Network is actually, you must be knowing that honey is collecting, or honeybee is collecting honey from the different flowers, try to bring it into the honeybee structure, and there is nothing known. You are getting honey, but you don't know who has brought it. So basically, it is the faceless and absolutely recognized less honeybee who is doing the activity, and therefore Professor Anil Gupta thought that it is something which is very, very important, and therefore he started that a nameless and a faceless innovator who is actually don't know to anybody. If you can have a handshaking with him, if you can have an hand holding with him, and then finally try to transfer that particular type of the system in a such a fashion that you can give this recognition a certain amount of good support system. And that is what Professor Anil Gupta started about it. And finally, you will get that particular man a dignity and an identity and a patent to him. And that is what is called as the Honeybee Network. So he started an Honeybee Network in the early parts of the innovation. And it is nothing but known as mining the minds of the masses, so that we will recognize such type of people to get the innovations. What these people are doing, the people are doing that they are basically thinking about that how efficiently we are developing the process, how we can have an excellence into the process development. We must follow the ethics that the person who is having a knowledge and the person who came out with the idea must be recognized and must be getting a certain amount of returns. Otherwise, those returns are taken by somebody else. Equitable distribution, and beyond all this, environmental sustainability is something which is very, very important. So in the Honeybee Network, Professor Anil Gupta started that knowledge sharing in the local languages is more important, because the innovator don't know anything about English and Hindi. He know only in his regional languages. Recognizing him, respecting him, providing him a reward finally, and then finally when it comes to the incubation, it is the benefit sharing, which is one also very important aspect. So in 1988, he started that activity, and all the people like you, me, individuals, innovators, technology knowledge holders, NGOs, R&D institutions, scientists, engineers, students, teachers, whatnot, everybody become an wonderful journey and try to form a informal network initially, which was then converted into a formal structure. So in 1988, Professor Anil Gupta thought about it, and in 1989, he started a Honeybee Network. Honeybee Network was an informal network of the like-minded people, like-minded organization, and I was very fortunate to be associated with Professor Anil Gupta right from the initial part of understanding about the innovation. In 1993, he started a first formal structure. An NGO was formed called as Srishti, and which was ready to provide you the solution-based systems. In 1997, GAN was started, which is nothing but a regional technological business incubation center, and recognizing the grassroots innovations and try to add the value addition into that and try to make a business model which can be brought into reality. And in 2000, that is in year 2000, that is in the 21st century, he started the National Innovation Foundation, which is known as NIF now, and which is one of the national level body set up by the Department of Science and Technology to support the network system, to support the very important innovators in India. So it was a wonderful journey, started in 1988, and in 2021, we have a National Innovation Foundation. What we are doing, we are identifying the innovators in you. We are identifying what you can think in a different way, and then finally providing you a wonderful engineering and R&D support system through the large number of the institutions like the Raisoni Institute University, and try to provide you a wonderful type of the support system of the workshops and the laboratory and try to convert it into a wonderful type of the conversion mechanism. So that was something which we were thinking about. Let me try to share with you some of the very important innovators. One of the innovators was from Sindewahi in Maharashtra, 100 kilometers from Nagpur, Dadaji Khobragade, who developed the HMT variety of rice. A poor farmer. He was not knowing it, that he is doing something different. But he developed a seed which was slightly different, and that particular seed was adopted by the people. The productivity was increased, and then finally he approached Professor Anil Gupta. Professor Anil Gupta made a patent on his name, and the HMT variety of the rice was patented by Dadaji Khobragade. We lost him last year, but this great man came out with the HMT variety of the rice. So there are so many people in the different parts of the country, those who are working into the various developmental structures like this. Can you, some of you, those who are listening to me, will be becoming an innovators and try to contribute. Maybe the onion transplanter system or motorcycle-based agricultural driven implements or cotton picking machine from Natubai Wader from Gujarat, or Madanlal Kumawat from Rajasthan, who has developed a multi-crop thresher systems, anything, all mechanical engineering contributions. So anything what we can think about can become into a reality type of concept. And beyond that, the sanitary napkin making machine by Arunachalan Murugarantham from Tamil Nadu, and we are aware about the picture Padman, and he developed low-cost sanitary pad making machine, and this became the revolution. So these are all the innovations which is coming from every corners in India, and all these innovators are not good people, those who have never got an engineering degree, but they have done a wonderful type of job. Then we, you, me, and everybody, those who are engineering graduates, we can do absolutely the miracles, and therefore that is what I am expecting, that we all should contribute in a big way as far as the developmental activity in the development of innovations are concerned. And I'm sure all of you will try to do something in a different way like this. Shri Dharmavir from Yamunanagar, Haryana was absolutely not educated person, never gone into the school, but he was very good in engineering machines. He, right from his childhood, who was working with the machines, he was opening every machine and tried to understand. And therefore, after when he realized that, he became a farmer, he realized that I am generating avla and jamun and mango, but I would like to extract their juices and I will sell out the juices so that I will get more return. And then he was aware about the washing machine, and he converted the washing machine into a juicer making machine, a high capacity juicer making machine. And just imagine, now he came out with a various capacity, right from 50 kg per hour to 150 kg per hour, different capacity machines, which will take out the juices from all these beautiful herbal products. And the cylindrical vessel, which is made up of stainless steel and then motors and whatnot, and he is having a small workshop there. And now these Haryana people are very good in engineering products, and now he has developed his enterprising event. So a small farmer, because of a wonderful exposure into the area, resulted into an enterprising type of system, and that is what is a beautiful journey. Only hand-holding of Dharmavir has resulted into a wonderful type of the innovations like that. My dear friend, everybody, those who are thinking in a different fashion like this, can do wonderfully well into the path of innovation. And I'm sure some of the innovators, which is I'm aware about it, that some of the innovators, those who are listening to me, must be thinking in a slightly, maybe it's a false information, maybe it's a funny type of idea which we are thinking about, but that funny idea can bring into reality. Why I'm showing you all this? Because this poor small woman from Assam, she was working on bamboo tools, and she was thinking that how can I convert my bamboo into an agarbatti sticks, and she was doing it with the help of a manual tools. But one of our small idea, she wrote to Professor Anil Gupta when Professor Anil Gupta was on the travel to Assam, and he interacted with this lady, and that lady talked about it, that I would like to develop such type of machine. This is my idea. Professor Anil Gupta took up the product, took up the knowledge, accepted that particular idea, and then brought in front of everybody like us, and then all of us, right from IITs, NITs, all in the universities and engineering colleges, try to work on this particular product, and we develop the machines. So these machines are now sold out in Nepal, Bangladesh, Indonesia, everywhere, developed by a poor people like this. Never you can think that they can become a wonderful type of the innovator people into the technology system. The second most important formal structure was Srushti. It is the Society for Research and Innovation for Sustainable Technologies and Institution, which was started in 1993. And this was one of the first organization that you talk about innovation, you write to them, they are ready to fund you. They are ready to provide you all the support. They are ready to provide you all the readiness, which is taking your innovation into a reality. And that is something which was started in 1993 by Professor Anil Gupta, and large amount of the people have taken the advantage of that. One of the very important type of the people, those who have done it wonderfully well. Let me share you a beautiful story of Riya, Nimran, Kamya and Meher, the 6th standard students of Vasant Valley School, New Delhi. They were going to the school on their bicycles. And when they were going to the school on their bicycle, all of them were thinking that if we have some attachment like this, so when we are bicycling our cycle, we will clean the road. And that is a wonderful idea which came into their mind. They created a drawing, and they wrote to Professor Anil Gupta that this is what we are thinking about. Can it be converted into a product? And this particular problem was then taken by Srushti, and then everybody in the Srushti was working on that. And then the people from National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, then the people from various institutes, then the IIMs people, everybody work on that, and finally resulted into a cyclo cleaner, a wonderful type of the product which came from Srushti. So Srushti School of Art and Design and Technology from Bangalore came out with a wonderful product. So now whenever you are bicycling, this particular attachment will clean the road, and by that you are helping the environment. What a beautiful idea of the 6th standard girls from the Vasant Valley School resulted into a product. So my dear friend, maybe a funny idea, but it can be converted into an innovative product. So think over it and accordingly work. Whenever you are selecting your 3rd year and final year project, you must think slightly differently. That can you help to the society? Can I help to the masses? And can I do something different? And that is something which is a wonderful journey of contributing to the people. Beyond that, Professor Anil Gupta started GYAN. GYAN is a grassroots innovations and augmentation network where you have an innovation, and then people are ready to invest on innovation, and finally an enterprising activity, a cluster development will come into reality, And through that golden triangle of creativity, we can convert an innovation into an incubation. So now we are in the beautiful journey of converting an innovation into an incubation. So this was also started by Professor Anil Gupta, and Gyan became very, very popular, and large amount of such product came out into the reality. After that, in year 2000, Professor Anil Gupta thought that let me bring everything now under the Department of Science and Technology, and therefore he approached to the Prime Minister and the President of India that we would like to develop a network structure in India where all these innovations all across the nation should come under one roof. Otherwise, people from Assam is working, people from Gujarat is working, people from Tamil Nadu is working, but they are not aware about it. Can we bring everything under one umbrella? And therefore, that was recognized, and the Department of Science and Technology started National Innovation Foundation as the formal structure, and everything was brought under that, ready to support financially, ready to provide everything, all the CSIR laboratory supports to everybody, and try to come out with large amount of the commercial product developmental structure. Not only that, praising them, awarding them at the president level. And therefore, the President of India every year is now awarding such type of innovations into the Rashtrapati Bhavan. They are brought at Rashtrapati Bhavan, they are awarded, they will display their products at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and like that, the people will get an advantage. So, right from Abdul Kalam to Pratibha Patil, all the presidents of India are contributing to the National Innovation Foundation contribution, and this great man is Professor Anil Gupta, which you must be seeing here. A very small gentleman contributed a large way into the National Innovation Foundation. This is something which is a miracle. So, my dear friend, we must join this beautiful journey of doing this innovation. What this great man is doing, if you get a chance, join to his Shodhyatra. What is this Shodhyatra? Shodhyatra is a beautiful journey which he is doing on foot. He is moving in the extreme conditions. Suppose let us take an example of Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra, or the Madhya Pradesh. We have a peak summer. So he will travel in this area during the peak summer, because you must do everything under the extreme conditions. Maybe for a 1 week or a 10 days, and travel into the peak summer or a winter and on foot, and then they are interacting with the people into the villages, try to gather maximum amount of information and innovation, and then all the people, those who are joining on Shodhyatra, will be the people like you and me. I was very fortunate to be associated with him in one of the Shodhyatra. And what these people are doing when we are traveling, they try to gather the information, and in the evening hours, everybody is sitting and thinking about, oh, that was the innovation, what we have seen, how we can modify it, what will be the S&T inputs which is required, what will be the management inputs which will be required, and how effectively we can convert this innovation into an incubation. And that was something which is a wonderful journey. By chance, if you get a chance to join his Shodhyatra, it is open. It is not any speciality type of condition. Every year he is organizing such type of Shodhyatra. Become an integral part, learn with him, and try to get more and more fantastic information through such type of Shodhyatra. Beyond that, October 15th, which is known as the birthday of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, is actually considered as the Children's Creativity and the Innovation Day. So Professor Anil Gupta decided that let us celebrate October 15th, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's birthday, as the Innovation Day, and try to bring the idea under one roof. And therefore, I have a request to all of you. We engineers, we celebrate Engineers Day on 15th of September. Remember, 15th of October is a National Innovation Day, and where we people are contributing in a big way. So in your university, every year, maybe a small innovation which is coming as a product from the students' project or your contributions, bring it to everybody, bring it in front of everybody, recognizing them. And that is something which will be a wonderful recognition to all the innovators, those who are contributing, because innovators will be something like these people, those who have no degrees, those who would like to do something in a different way and try to join a wonderful journey with this great man, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So that is what we were thinking about, igniting the people. Last in the innovation, and then I will try to transfer and go into the second part of my presentation. Nisha, who was the student of 9th class from Noida, she was traveling every day to the school in Delhi. And whenever she was traveling to the school in Delhi, she was coming to the railway station, and you must have seen a crowd here. So she was amongst one of them, and kids, nobody will provide a space. and she was having a big bag to travel. And she is Nisha here. So Nisha from Noida, she was traveling with a big bag to the Delhi every day with the school, and she was thinking that, oh, nobody is giving me a space, but can my bag will become a chair? And a funny idea came into her mind, and she prepared a drawing and wrote to Professor Anil Gupta. It was given to Srishti Gyan and National Innovation Foundation. Everybody tried to talk about it, everybody thinking about it. And finally now a bag with a folding seat came into reality. So now we have a bag with a folding seat. You press a one knob, this bag will disappear. It will become, the chair will disappear. It will become a bag. She can hold it on her shoulder, go to the school, and whenever she is coming to the station, she will again press one knob. It will be converted into chair. She will occupy the chair. This particular market or this particular product is now commercialized by Big Bazaar, the Future Group, and it is now coming into the market. So my dear friend, a fantastic idea can come into a reality. So don't worry about your funny ideas. Do your funny idea, we can brought it into the inverted model of innovation. That is, the children ideates, the engineer creates, and the companies commercialize. And therefore, come out with the beautiful idea which is existing in your mind. Come out with the fortunate contributions from the engineers and the people, those who are getting graduations like you. And finally, there are people, those who are ready to support you to make it as a wonderful inverted model of innovation. So I'm sure all of you will join this wonderful journey of innovation and try to bring your idea into reality. So with this now, let us go to the second important topic. Apart from that, whenever you are identifying your final year projects or third year projects, most of the time we are not aware whether I am doing a repetitive project. So I would like to request all of you, please go to this website, www.techpedia.in. This is the national portal of technology of all the projects of students in India. IIT students, NIT students, university students, all engineering colleges students try to put their projects onto these websites. Go into that. Try to understand what the people are doing. What are the problems which is already mentioned there? Can I work on some of the problem? The web page is something like this. And you can go into the Techpedia, try to get the wonderful information, link to the young people like you, technological minds in the country, solve the unsolved problems, and try to help to the society, help to the MSME structure, and finally, the disadvantaged group, which is really needing your support system. And that is something which is an open invitation to all of you. Majority of us are not aware about it. And that's why I would like to show you that whenever you are identifying any mini project or a major project in final year, before that, go to the Techpedia, try to get a wonderful type of information and help to the masses, help to the beautiful journey of innovation. Beyond that, let me now talk about some of my innovations which I brought into reality. What we were observing, some of you must have seen that your mother, whenever she is preparing a dosa, she is preparing it on a Nirlep pan. And this Nirlep pan is kept on a gas stove. And without even putting a drop of oil, your mother can prepare dosa on that because it is Teflon coated. So, but once you go on cleaning it, after certain days, the coating gets removed, and then you have no other option but to purchase a new Nirlep pan. And therefore, I was working on that, and I was thinking that, oh, can I improve the life of such Nirlep pan? A funny idea came into our mind. But at the same time, we were surprised that I was working, as informed by Ajay, I was working in area of polymer and composite. And therefore, I realized that I'm working on so many polymers. Can I take this polymer and try to go to the lower temperatures, that is minus 180 degrees Celsius? So what I have done, I have taken a liquid nitrogen and took certain amount of polymers and try to immerse those polymers into liquid nitrogen. And after certain days or after certain hours of exposure, when I brought it back and tried to observe their structure, I was stuck. I was realized that I have done something new. Because under the scanning electron microscope, when I saw the structure, there was a modification in the structure. Structural modification means mechanical properties must have changed. And therefore, I was thinking that, can I do certain amount of areas of research? I was very fortunate to get good students. So we started our journey. And then we realized that we developed this cryo bed. This is a liquid nitrogen cylinder. Through that, the liquid nitrogen is entered into this channel. And here I can control the temperature. If I need minus 40, I can control that. If I need minus 180, I can control that. So like that, with the help of microprocessor control, I can do that. And inside this chamber, then I will put all my samples and try to go to that temperature, maintain it there, and try to modify the structure. So that was the work which we have started. So we realized that this is something nobody has done in India, not even abroad. This can result into some of the developmental type of activity. So we should not publicize, because once you publish paper, it cannot be converted into patent. So we decided in the early part of our innovation that this is something which is a patented type of activity. We should work with a very great speed and try to come out with a patent. So what we have immediately done, we recorded a reservation of our patent. And then we started working at the same time with a great speed, and surprising results came out. And that is something which is a wonderful journey, which I would like to share you. So I have taken a polyamide, and this polyamide without a treatment, if you see under the scanning electron microscope, you get a structure like this. This is what is called as the spherulitic structure. But once you treat it at minus 180 degrees Celsius in liquid nitrogen or liquid helium, you can see a rod-like structure. These are the microfibers. These are the micro rods which are generated into polyamides. Polyamides are nothing but nylon. And due to that, the properties are improved. The mechanical properties are improved. The wear resistant properties are improved. And that clicked that yes, we can convert it into patent. And this became one of my first patent. After that, as I was talking to you about the Nirlep pan, so this was the area which we were working into that. The Nirlep pan is coated with Teflon, PTFE. And therefore, there is this Nirlep pan is actually produced at Aurangabad by Mr. Bhogle, who is having his own industry. So what we have done, we purchased the Nirlep pans and carried out certain amount of experiment, and we observed that the life of the Nirlep pan is improved 3 times. So that was a surprising result which came out. And why it is so? Because the Teflon in the untreated condition is indicating small fibers. But once I am treating it, it is all converted into a beautiful fiber structure and improving the wear resistant property 4 times. That is something which becomes my second patent, that we can do a wonderful type of conversion. So you have to identify which technology of yours can convert into a patent, and then you don't publish it. Do the patent and then go on publishing it, because after patent you can publish a number of times, but before patent you should not publish it. And that is very, very important condition. So people must realize that whatever we are doing, nobody has done it, and now we can join that beautiful journey of converting the idea into patent. Beyond that, what we have done, most of the time the fibers are added into the polymer structure, and these particular fibers, whenever it is added, they becomes a composite material. And these composite materials are used for aircraft industries, they are used for automobile industries, and whenever we are using it, they improve their mechanical properties, they improve their ductility, they improve their wonderful hardness and wear resistance properties. So what is happening? So what we have done, we have seen a fiber like this, which is added into the polyamide, and whenever we have treated it for different treatment times in the liquid nitrogen from 4 hours to 24 hours, I observed that when I started with 4 hours, there was no bond. But when I went to 8 hours, I observed that there is a beautiful bond between the fiber and the matrix system. After 12 hours, the bond was still there, but after 16 hours, the bond was breaking now. Again, there was a debonding. There is no bond between the fiber, can very easily come out. And after 20 hours, the fiber was very easily, you can pull it out without any difficulty from the matrix structure. So I realized in a composite material, 8 to 12 hours of treatment in liquid nitrogen can give me wonderful results. So this was the activity which outcome of our patent. So we realized that instead of going for patent, let us go for the publication in this area. And therefore what we have done then, we have done n number of publications, and then finally publications was recognized as the intellectual property rights. We again put it under the IPR value, and those becomes the IPR again. So you have to identify which technology can be converted into patent, which technology can be converted into a wonderful type of the IPR value systems. So this was some of the photographical evidences which I have done, which has improved the mechanical properties of the component to a larger extent because of the wonderful type of the bond which is generated between the glass fiber and the composite material. Otherwise, there will be a debonding like this after 24 hours of cryo treatment, and therefore the treatment time, and that is very, very important to the industry. So when I am approaching with the industry, that how much amount of the time is required for a different material, they are coming to me and paying me huge amount of money for that. This is something what is called as the returns of your innovation. And that is a wonderful type of the journey which every innovator will get in his life if you are doing wonderful innovations in the process of understanding it. Beyond that, one of the very important type of the second work which I am working into the area is the nanoluminescence area. You must be aware about the important journey of light. Initially, it was a flame which resulted into the light structure. Later on, there were tube lights, and now it is everywhere LED. And LEDs are produced from nanoluminescence material. And this nanoluminescence material in 2050, everything will be LED powered. Everything will be LED. Now you know even the vehicles, even the lights in the houses, even in your institute, it is all made up of LED. These LEDs are coming out from the nanomaterials, and these nanomaterials are coming out by the Sol Gel technology. So we know all this, how to produce it. So I was working in this nanoluminescence area with one of my research groups, and we realized that we can do miracles, and therefore we observed that. You must be knowing that whenever you are traveling on the highways, small lights are attached onto the roads, and you will get a lights very quickly. They are shining lights, and these lights are made up of the LEDs, and these LEDs are having their own shelf life. So our basic idea is that can we improve the shelf life of that? How to do that? Because the life is basically they are in number of times used, but if they are confined into a polymer capsule, then we can improve the life. So that is something what we were thinking about. So one of my research group, we started working on that we take a nanoluminescence material, put it into then encapsulated into the polymer shell, and then try to think about the shelf life, and we improved the shelf life 3 times. So that is something which became a contribution, and like that we develop a combustion technology. Through that, this powder will be converted into nano powder like this, and these nano powders will be then used into the construction of LEDs. So you can have different colors. So this is with the Yttria Y2O3 addition. So we get a violet color or red colors. Like that, you can add all the different oxide and try to convert it into the different colors. And now we can use it for all different type of applications, right? From the vehicle lights to the street lights to your mobiles to your LED connections, street, everywhere now it is going to revolutionize. So this is one of the very beautiful area of innovations. Don't require any specialization. Or suppose I was thinking that, oh, electrical and electronics engineer should work in this area. Why I should work? I should not have done this. So don't think about your watertight compartmentalization. You can do miracles. And that is what I know. And third most important area where I was working on the shape memory alloys. And the shape memory alloys are actually coming out from the nanomaterials again. And these are the materials which is put inside your arteries and veins to improve or to overcome the blockages. So this is known as stent. And this stent I was working very long for very, very long years. But again, the unfortunate researcher, because after a few years, I developed some blockages in my arteries, and then I have to go to the doctor, and the same doctors with whom I was working, they carried out angioplasty on my body and put up this beautiful product on which I was working in my body. And now I am getting a wonderful advantage of the same innovations what we have done in this concept. So what these people are doing, if you have a blockage like this, these people are taking a stent, try to put it there, and then blow up with a balloon, so that finally you are opening this, and then these will become like this, because this balloon will come out, and finally the structure will be something like this. This is what is called as angioplasty. And this whole process is known as angiography. So in the angiography and angioplasty, n number of times the doctor is saying that be ready for the bypass operations, because if you are not ballooning it properly, it will be exploded, and then artery will blow away, and then you have to do the operations. Otherwise, sometimes it will not, even if it is not done like this, then it will be coming out. And this is all these problems are called as stenosis. So these are the peculiar problem which has been understood. I am not a biological person, but I understood everything, because in order to do the research, you have to know the knowledge, and therefore knowledge don't require any boundary. And as I told you, learning experience is something which you will continue throughout your life, and that's what we have done. We develop a wonderful type of the structures, and finally now I'm really very, very happy that the technology and the research which we have done with Dr. Prashant Jagtap, the cardiologist from Nagpur, and the same person has carried out the angioplasty on me, and I'm the most fortunate person to get the advantage in the golden hours of my life. So sometimes the research is of directly used to you and to everybody in the masses. Beyond that, we engineers are actually supposed to work to the society. And we have done extremely well in transferring such type of technology for the masses. Very quickly, I would like to share some of the technological development and the transfers which we have done. This is also one part of the innovation, that you have to transfer your technology. So we started our journey with the blacksmith, those who are actually manufacturing this spade, sickle or pickaxe or plowing blade, and they don't know what type of material, they don't know. They will take the material, heat it into the furnace and hammer it a number of times and try to generate a product. These are the agricultural product which is mostly used. So they were actually sitting on the ground and they don't require a very good material and the processes. So what we have decided, that let us provide them a workstation, and therefore we develop a workstation for blacksmith. And now he is having an anvil, he is having a furnace, so he is hitting inside the furnace, hammering here, heat treatmenting it here, and he is sitting on the chair. So now instead of a ground, we brought him at a certain respectable position. Beyond that, in order to improve the tool life, we have also developed a carburizing mixture, and this was a very beautiful journey. I gathered some information from the Atharva Veda and Sama Veda that during the old age, during the historical time, if the animal is dead in a village, the animal was thrown out of the village. The birds and the animals will take away the flesh. The bones which is remaining outside the village will be collected by the blacksmith. It will be converted into a fine powder. In that fine powder of the bone, what is called as bone ash, they are adding certain amount of limestone and charcoal powder. And that mix was used to sprinkle on the tools, which is heated into the blacksmith furnace. And once you hammer it, it will becomes very hard. So that is what is called as the hardening process or carburizing process. So, but nothing was known about the proportions. And then we have done wonderful type of the work on the development of the mixture development, and a huge amount of work was carried out. And we developed the technological innovations and then transferred to the masses. And not only that, we are now taking it to the people, those who are actually working onto the reality. So we were going, this is one of the video which I have recorded at Rajnandgaon, where one of my friend from Rajnandgaon was manufacturing a axe and using our technology, what is called as Pani Pilana, to make it more hard at the teeth so that the life of that can be improved. So what they are doing, they are heating it like this and then finally just putting the tip in the water. It is called as Pani Pilana. Due to that, the structure is converted into martensite. It becomes very hard, and they are developing such type of wonderful products. So that type of technology transfer is all the time essential in anybody's life, and we are helpful to the masses. Beyond that, we develop the bamboo tools for the bamboo artisans in the tribal belts of Meghat and try to provide them a wonderful type of the system. After that, we took these machines, the technological machines, and transfer it into the various conferences and workshops in all across the nation. This was in Surat when I was talking about my product to the people, and the people are the artisans, those who are learning about how this technology is happening. Beyond that, the second technological innovations is development of laminates, what Ajay sir was talking about, the development of laminates from agro and the forest waste. So right from the sugarcane bagasse to the teak wood to the coconut shell, anything which is a waste material, right from the shredded paper to the plastic shredded polyethylene, everything can be put it inside. And then you put it here and then compress it, and you will generate a beautiful laminate of 2 mm to 25 mm thickness. So this will become a wonderful type of a product. And now you will get such type of laminate which is coming out, which is of 2 mm to 25 mm thickness, and you can use it for large number of the product ranges. Now one of the industry in MIDC Nagpur is using such technology called as Arbindo laminates. So agro base, forest waste, everything can be converted into a beautiful type of the product range. And this is all possible once we people are using this technological innovations in more effective way to the masses. And that is something what is called as the technology transfer. So such type of beautiful laminate can be generated. And the people are developing this, those who don't know even what is meant by science and what is meant by technology. Beyond that, Maharashtra is a wonderful land of cotton. But these cotton machines called as ginning machines are actually operated by the women, and they are sitting on the machine like this. Any mechanical engineer will not tolerate like this, that the woman is sitting on the machine and the machine is operated by that machine, by the woman sitting on that machine. It is not ergonomically good. And therefore, one of our mechanical engineering person, Professor Pramod Padole, who is the director of VNIT now, he was thinking that can I do something differently, and he developed the machine, what is called as the ginning machine. and it is a patented atom of Professor Padole. And he developed a beautiful ginning machine. Actually, this complete chamber is flooded with a grease earlier, and the grease was oozing out, and then it was coming in contact with the cotton, and the grade of the cotton was damaging. So instead of that, he replaced everything and developed a oil operated machine, and a new ginning machine came into reality. And we adapted this project with the Khadi and Village Industries Commission, developed small capacity machine to the large capacity machine, and now we can develop and take out the seed from cotton, and then you will improve the quality of cotton, and you will also take a cotton seed, and which will be again reutilized for the various purposes. So this is the machine. You put a cotton from one side, and then you will get a cotton which is coming out, and the seed will come out from the second corner. This machine is called as the double roller ginning machine. So seed will come out from the second corner. You take out the seed, you extract the oil from the seed, and then you can convert it into a paste, and which will be again used as a fuel in the biomass briquetting, and convert it into an energy, electrical energy, and no grease now. It is all oil drops which can make the revolution. So this is something which is a wonderful type of innovations and journey which we can do. Beyond that, this cotton is again to be compressed into the pressing machine, so that we can transfer it from the Ekadhikar Samiti to the manufacturing. So this is how actually the various developed pressing stirrups are, or actually the various bundles are generated, and then they are transferred. Beyond that, one more thing which we have done in civil engineering area is that when I would like to develop a column, I required this beautiful type of iron rod, which is to be bent 4 times so that it will become a stirrup. And this stirrup is actually putting these 4 columns or the 4 rods together when we are pouring concrete into that. This is called as stirrup. And for that, the iron rod of 6 mm to 8 mm are supposed to be brought at the side, and they are supposed to be bent, and it is not ergonomically good design. So we develop a machine, and this is again a double enterprising, so that the manufacturing machine itself is an enterprising event, and manufacturing stirrup is a second one. What we are doing, in a 4-stroke, the rod will automatically come forward, and it is bent in the 4-stroke machines, and finally it will generate a stirrup. So you can just see how the stirrup is generated in the 4-stroke of the operation. A very simple mechanism of mechanical engineering was used to convert an iron rod into a stirrup. We have a semi-automatic machine, automatic machine, and manual operated machine, because in villages we don't have power, and therefore you also require a cycle operated machine. And we have developed a cycle operated machine also for this. This is a PhD work. 2 PhD came out of this particular work. So don't think that small contribution don't require recognition. We can do miracles, and this is what is called a stirrup making machine. This is a cycle operated or pedal operated stirrup making machine, which is also one can very effectively utilize to convert it into that. Then beyond that, this is called as hoop stick making machine. So what this woman is doing, she is taking a plastic pipe, try to put up a paste, and with the help of an iron rod, she will try to bring it onto the tray, and which is then dried, and we are using in our dhoop puja, in our various types of the rituals. And I was looking to this woman, and during the rainy season, the productivity will go down. Secondly, when she is manufacturing, every woman will have different pressure application. So product and quality and quantity both are damaging. So idea came into our mind that can we convert it into some of the machine. So I went to kitchen, and I realized that my mother was using a wonderful type of grinder in her house. The same grinder concept we use, and try to use it for manufacturing of those sticks. See how it is done. So then you can then cut it down as per the size and sold it into the market. We have also developed a solar dryer for them. Still you require within modifications. So some of you can take out solar dryer projects to make it more effective for the transfer of technology. After that, majority of the goshalas, they are having gobar gas plant like this. This gobar gas is used for the gas connections. Beyond that, whatever gobar gas which is remaining can be used in the diesel generator unit. But the problem with the gobar gas is that it contains moisture. So if the moisture is not taken out, it will misfire the diesel engine. And therefore, we develop a small moisture trapper here in the PVC pipes. So when we are feeding it and when the gas is coming out from the top, it is free from moisture. 250 rupees a small moisture trapper. If you can connect to the diesel generator set, you can directly use gobar gas for the diesel operations, and which we have done at Govigyan Anusandhan Kendra Developar, and not only there, in different goshalas in India. So like that, the technology has to be need based. Technology has to be good for the masses. Technology has to be low cost, and technology has to be very easily operated by the people without your participation. And that is something which is very, very important. Beyond that, one more problem which was taken by Dr. Prakash Baba Amte from Bamragad, that in that area, they were having large production of mahua. Mahua is used for wines. Mahua is used for a large number of various other products also. But they were thinking that can we use it for developing biodiesel? And we accepted the project and we developed a biodiesel reactor. This is the biodiesel reactor which was developed by one of my good friend, Dr. Purnanand Wale, who is presently at SVNIT Surat. Then Dr. Pramod Padole and myself, we basically contributed and developed one of the first biodiesel pilot cum mini project reactor. And through that, we can develop from mahua the biodiesel. And this is the technology which we then transferred to Dr. Prakash Baba Amte. Our director, Dr. Gokhale, was transferring this technology to them. And this was then installed at Himal Kasar. So here, this is an extraction unit where from the mahua, we can take out oil. Then it is filtered out into the filtration plant. And then the oil is filled into the biodiesel reactor. He is the eldest son of Dr. Prakash Baba Amte, Dr. Diganta Amte, and the complete setup is installed at Himal Kasar. So like that, can we do the technology transfer, which is directly useful to the people, into the masses? And that is something which you will get a very, very important advantage and satisfaction in your life. Beyond that, we also develop a mosquito coil making machine. And this was actually, again, a need-based problem which we realized in one of the cottage industries in Khadi Village Industries Commission. And then we came out with a very beautiful mold structure and the machine which is costing 70,000 rupees. And then we transferred it into the Goshalas, into Anandvan, number of places. And we can transfer such type of technology to anybody into the country now. So my dear friend, it's a continuous type of transfer of development. Any innovations which is coming into the reality can have something as a source of false idea, a foolish idea. But let me tell you, your creativity will count for the great journey of innovation. Because once there is a creativity, once there is the idea, the knowledge will help you in getting the idea to bring into reality. Beyond that, there are people to help you out. These people will try to help you out, making it wonderfully possible, wonderfully making it into reality because of the National Innovation Foundation through SISTRI or the Honeybee Network type of patterns. And every people from the different parts of the country are ready to help you out. So creativity counts, knowledge matters, innovation transform, and the incentive inspire. So if you are thinking that whatever foolish idea which people were developing and thinking about it is now converted into an incubated product, into a startup, that will give you a return, a pleasure, a satisfaction of your life. And this can happen in any corner of India, I'm sure. Because there are people, there are success stories all across the nation. And this success story has resulted into bringing something really good out of the system. So I'm sure some of the innovators, those who are listening to me today, they will start their journey now. Don't think about watertight compartmentalization, because idea can come from any corner. Don't require knowledge, don't require education, don't require anything which you never thought about it. So my dear friend, Fragent, I would like to show you one of the small video clip of one of my very, very close friend, Dr. Prakash Baba Amte, who started his activity in the intricacies of the Himal Kasar tribal belt, where nobody ever thought that he can do miracles. He started a school, he started a wonderful process of transfer of science and technological innovation to these people, and made a wonderful journey to happen. Got Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan. And that is something which is a beautiful recognition, the incentive in somebody's life. So my dear friend, with this video, I would like to end that we people can really make a wonderful journey in our life, which can result into innovations, which can result into a successful path of transfer of technology. So I don't know whether that video is available here. But otherwise, what I will do, I will just stop this presentation. But before that, I will again go to the video and try to show you. But before that, those who would like to share with me, try to work with me, my mobile number is here, 937-280-2996, and my email ID, Dr. Peshwe, drpeshwe@redditmail.com. You can join with me. We can work together and try to make the things to happen into reality. I will try my level best to show you that small video, which is possible. So just give me a minute. So finally, you must have seen that she was saying basically that the things are that you get a satisfaction, and I am sure all of you must be satisfied at the frag end when our innovations are converted into reality. So with this, best of luck to all of you, and I am sure all of you will have a wonderful journey of innovations brought into reality. Thank you, Ajay, for giving me this opportunity and share some of my experiences with all of you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Sir, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, I'm waiting. No problem.
Now, are there any questions from anyone? Students? Adarsh, Alkesh, Anup, Krunal, Nilay?
नो सर।
कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना है तो पूछिए सर से कि कैसे इसको स्टार्टअप में ये कर सकते हैं.
They can even join me. They can even contact me anytime. Don't worry. No problem. You are all most welcome anytime to join a wonderful journey.
Okay. And any question from the faculty side? Anup sir, Padmanabh sir, Shantanu sir. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Now over to you, Shantanu sir, for the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. I, Dr. Santanu Das, on behalf of J.S. Raichani University, School of Engineering and Technology, and its entire organizing team, extend a very heartfelt thanks to Dr. Dilip Vesve, sir, for sharing their valuable knowledge on intellectual property rights, innovation, and incubation. He shared so much and a lot of examples of real life innovation that inspired us to do innovation. So thank you, sir, for sharing your uh, valuable experience, knowledge related to innovation with us. That will help all the participants in making innovation. I would like to thank all the participants for making this event successful. Finally, I would like to thank Ajay sir, Arvind sir, Chote sir, Padmanabh sir for organizing such a great event. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shantanu. Thank you, Ajay, and everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Have a good day, sir. Anup sir,
Yes, sir.
अभी रिकॉर्डिंग स्टॉप कर दीजिए.
Okay, sir.